You know, many mourned the loss of the hatchback Civic when the current generation was launched. Well, mourn no more, and you can put those black armbands away, because this week we take a look at the all-new SiR hatchback.
The SiR's new platform is much stiffer, 95% stronger torsionally and 22% better in bending than the previous three-door generation, something that shows up as much less body flex on a rough road. It also gives the suspension a very good base of operations. Through the pylons there was very little body roll and understeer, however I'll have more to say on this in a moment. This is also the first Civic to feature electrically power-assisted steering. It differs from a conventional system by helping the driver with a small electric motor rather than a power-sapping hydraulic pump. Not only is it precise, it has a very direct feel.
You know, this thing's tremendous through the pylons, but there is a downside, and it comes in the form of the tyres. First of all, they're aesthetically rather weak and don't fill out the wheel wells. Secondly, the chassis and engine easily overpower them. So if you're looking for something a little more sporty, you should go for 16 or preferably +2 17-inch rims and a decent set of tyres. Then you'd be talking about a serious piece of machinery. Sadly, well, Honda only offers these 15 inches.
The highlight and heart of the SiR is its 2-litre double overhead cam i-VTEC engine, as it breathes livelier performance into the car, as in 160 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and 132 pounds-feet of torque at 5,000 RPM, and without sucking back the gas at an alarming rate. While the engine features VTEC, the latest system ups the technology count by adding variable valve timing. During low-speed operation, the majority of the incoming air charge is drawn through the primary intake valve, which improves combustion. At about 3,000 RPM, a second rocker engages with the first. As this is done, the lift and duration of both intake valves changes, increasing the airflow and consequently the power available across the middle and upper portions of the rev range. The variable valve timing advances or retards the intake cam over a 50-degree window, which cleans up the emissions while bringing that broad power band.
The SiR is very definitely a driver's car. To begin with, the wheel's about the right size, the gauge is dynamic, and the shifter, in spite of its rather unconventional position, very easy to use, and the throw's nice and short. Then you've got the driver's and passenger's seats. Lots of bolstering in the base and through the lumbar region, but more importantly, a lot of support through the shoulder area. You've also got comfort items like power locks, windows, mirrors, cruise control, and air conditioning. But therein lies the rub. Whenever you select either of the defroster modes, the AC is automatically switched on. When you turn it back to warm your feet, it stays on. Now surely if you can turn it on automatically, you can turn it off automatically.
The engine's engineering spreads the power over a generous range, the proof of which comes in the driving. Anywhere from about 4,500 RPM, the Civic revs freely to its red line and without showing any of the harshness so common in many 4s. True, to benefit from the available power, you do have to row the 5-speed manual gearbox fairly vigorously. However, when all is said and done, this is half the fun. The lone drawback is that 120 kilometers an hour comes at 4,000 plus RPM. Let's just say a 6-speed box would not go amiss.
If you decide to buy yourself a Civic SiR, you have to consider it more of a 2+2, primarily because getting back to the rear seat is awkward, and once you're back there, well, there's not a whole pile of space. However, round at the back, you cannot say the same thing. There's a real handle on the liftgate, and when you open it, you'll find plenty of cargo capacity with the seats up. Fold them down and it grows appreciably. In short, it's a much better design than the previous vehicle.
Stopping power comes from 4-wheel discs and a decent anti-lock system. During the braking test, the stops remained fairly short and straight, with fade staying out of the equation. Unfortunately, the under-tired nature of the SiR means that the ABS kicks in with little provocation. A bigger set of boots would solve this situation.
Dynamically, the Civic SiR is a delightful package. It's got a good chassis, great suspension, and a wonderful powertrain. Indeed, it's what the whole hot hatch concept is all about. Now, if you do go for those 17-inch wheels and tyres I mentioned, which I really do recommend, make sure they weigh about the same as these original equipment units. The reason is you don't want to increase the unsprung weight and upset that delicate balance.
So here's the question, where were you 32 years ago? I know some of you weren't even a glint in your father's eye. As for me, well, I was in diapers but found time to get Motoring TV off the ground. And today I like to think we've got one of the best automotive video libraries in the world. If you agree, please give us the thumbs up and also subscribe. We'd really appreciate it.